Hi everyone, I'm here in Applecho, Aberdeen with Laurent, and we're gonna have a little casual talk talking about how's life as an expat in Hong Kong, and we're having here filling our glass of champagne, which is from Epernay. How are you, Laurent?
Good, good. You?
Yes, good. Thank you for welcoming me, and we're having a nice Ernest. What is this? Ernest Rappeneau à
Yeah.
Epernay. We just finished it, and you know this is the real champagne glasses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Laurent just told me because
So
this
this
is-
one I bought them in Champagne. So
Yeah.
I always thought that the champagne glass was the flute or the coupelle. But actually in Champagne they all drink in this kind of glass, even a bit of a bigger one, like almost look like a wine, white wine. glass.
But now that you're telling me, I think it's yeah, because I remember when I'm invited to some official cocktails, like at the French consulate and so on. Very often I saw these glasses,
type of glass.
and not always flute.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay, right. Laurent is from Belgium. He's French speaking. Today we want to speak English because we want to send a message to all our friends from around the world and all our international friends in Hong Kong. So we want to communicate with them. Well, we meet them quite often in events and so on. What are we going to tell them today, Laurent?
I don't know what you want to know, man.
First of all, I'd like to know, well, who are you? What are you doing in Hong Kong?
Yeah, so I arrived in Hong Kong in 2008, working for a non-for-profit organization called ISEC. I didn't do that for the money. I was paid back then 4,500 Hong Kong dollars per
Oh my
month.
God! It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
an internship or what?
It was kind of an internship, if you're honest, but the accommodation was paid. So I had my accommodation. I was living in dormitory. It was crap. We had like a 3 bunk bed in a small room, where I received 4,500 Hong Kong dollars for me to have my life here.
Buy beers.
Well, by
noodle
beers,
soup.
honestly, with 4,005, you mostly eat
Beers
at
from
tea
7-Eleven.
time, and then you keep a little bit of money to party once a week, you know. And yeah, we used to go in a place called Fever. It was, I think you have not known it because they destroyed the tower 1 year later.
Oh.
It was the old California Tower in LKF, and they had one bar there called Fever. And the reason we were going there is because you could drink all you can drink between 10 to 1 a.m. So it was all you can drink for 200 Hong Kong dollars.
Wow.
So what we were doing is saving our money
and go there once a week.
and go there once a week, have fun, and then after 1 a.m. well, we kept going, but we just bought one beer in the middle to, you know, not be thirsty, something like that, you know. And that's how we managed to survive here.
When
and
I
have
arrived
fun.
in Hong Kong, there used to be the Carnegie's in one. I think they still exist.
Yeah, still exists.
And,
It's one of the
but
few that.
but what doesn't
remains
exist
in
anymore
Macau.
was the Friday night Corona beers were $10. 10 Hong Kong dollars
Where,
every
in,
Friday
in
night.
Carnegie?
Yeah, Carnegie's.
You know,
You didn't know that?
I have never been
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Carnegie.
So
in
every-
16
really?
years.
What?
Never.
Wow.
I used to go around there. I used to go to the old Typhoon,
Yeah.
which was a nice, like not the Typhoon. Now it's closed, but the Typhoon towards the end, it was like a hooker den. But the old one was a nice bar, and I used to go a lot to Coyote, because my neighbor in Hong Kong when I arrived, he was Dominican, and he was playing salsa in salsa and merengue.
It still exists nowadays, Coyote?
It closed during
Oh,
COVID,
so-
and that's why I met my wife actually. I invited her for a dance in.
You met
in
her at Coyote?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Because she was a
interesting.
friend of my friend, and he was playing there. Now he became famous. Maybe you know him, Chris Polanco. He became a canto pop musician.
Okay.
He's super famous now in Hong Kong. I mean, super. He's famous.
Hi to Chris.
The local knows him.
Okay. Nice. Okay, well, now you've been here for 16 years. And what you're doing here? How's life here? Are you happy here? How long are you gonna stay here? Tell us what's your mindset.
Yeah, so I'm here since 16 years now. I'm running my business for 12. So I opened a company working with business services, so incorporation of companies in Hong Kong, company maintenance, accounting, audit, taxation, all these kind of fun things for entrepreneurs. And Yeah, we are doing all right. So I mean, I think we'll continue. How I see my life here. Well, to be honest with you, during COVID, I thought of leaving Hong Kong. I was really thinking to go away and go back to Europe, but then I eventually decided to stay.
Why? What was wrong during COVID?
Well, you know, as I told you, I refused the vaccine thing. So basically, my life became really miserable towards the end of COVID,
Like an outlaw.
and I was really stubborn. You know, I mean, I was like, no way, I'm not going to take these things. And eventually, the last 9 months were really, really painful. I was like, okay, look, I'm done. I want to get away from Hong Kong. And there's also the reason of the kids. I wanted to provide my kids with, you know, a house with a garden where they can play around and have some, you know, casual friends from activities, etc. We talk about it before, but in a
Like European lifestyle.
you know, yeah, different lifestyle. Hong Kong, the lifestyle of kids in Hong Kong is really structured, and I don't like it. I wanted my kids to have the opportunity to, you know, run free in the garden, in the forest, build a cabin, break a leg, you know, like you know what kids do normally, you know.
Breaking your leg, that's normal.
Yeah, I mean, no, but because they try things. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is here is everything is so safe and protective.
safe.
It's too safe.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
did last year. I did the April's joke. I don't know if you heard about it. And I said
yeah.
I'm going back to France because Hong Kong is too safe. It's like a bubble, and I want my kids to grow up in like a tough environment. I want them to become men.
Yeah, well,
it was a joke, a half joke.
yeah. Well, but it's half true as well.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, we are raising Care Bears, you know.
Because life in Hong Kong is good. Maybe it's too good.
It's too good.
Too
yeah.
structured. Everything is planned. If you bring your kids if you don't bring your kids to school to activities, actually your helpers doing it. So actually you have a kind of life of you working on the time and you have to take care of your kids and this and that. Like it's a special life, right? Do you feel
It's
that?
a special life, but also it's not just for the activities. It's not just the safety of it. It's also the fact that it's just way too structured. You know, the fact that you bring the kid. I mean, I remember when my girl was taking dance lessons. It was really like, okay, now it's time to go dancing. So the group that is dancing leave the room, and the next group goes in. They start to do their things. 45 minutes. They leave. The next
It's
group
like a
comes in.
factory. It's going.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, I made some new friends in the dance." I say, "Oh, really? What's their name?" I don't know. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's
Now it makes me think of one thing. Like I didn't mention it before in the previous interview, but in the 2018, France won the World Cup.
yeah.
And then we booked the hotel.
Yeah, we know that. Thank you.
Until 1 a.m. Yes. And you were there?
But
Oh,
no,
you went
but
there.
you win. But
Yeah.
you kick us out. You know, you kicked our
Yeah,
golden
right.
generation out. You know, we were pissed at it. You know, and then the Belgians. You know, Belgians normally they are really good losers, but when France kick our ass, they became. I didn't. To be honest, I just accepted that we lost. No, I mean that's it.
It's the
But
name of the game.
I mean, yeah, it's a game. But oh gosh, we became so chauvinistic. I was like, come on, guys. No, I mean it's just a game. Relax. No, we lost. Anyway, go
But
ahead.
yeah, I was thinking about it because like we booked the hotel room until like midnight or 1 a.m. And we won the World Cup. And then, but you know, there's a ceremony, so the French people they want to see the ceremony, they want to see the cup going and so on. But the hotel they just cut it. It's time to go. You book and so on. So there's a mindset in Hong Kong like you have to book like this, like this. Same for things like maybe like the weddings and so on. You book from, you know, like things
Everything
are very
is too
yeah,
structured.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay,
it's sometimes it's good, but I think especially for raising kids, I'm not a big fan. You know, so that's one of the reasons. But when
So
I
what
saw the
happened?
state of Europe, I was like, yeah, no,
Yeah, because you decided to go back to Europe, and then you try to go back to Europe, and you see what's happening in Europe, and you decide, oh no, I want to stay in Hong Kong. Why?
Right, the thing I spent 2 months there, and then I saw the mindset. You know, there were a couple of things. First is the atmosphere, the mindset. I think is really dark. It's really like, it's crisis. Everything is expensive. There is no hope. No matter what you do, you earn the same. It's like
Too much negativity.
too much negativity, and it
no-
started to affect me, you know. And I'm like, so I'm not a big fan of that. Then the other thing was well, actually, it's the first. but this I knew before, is the taxation. So when you look at Europe, because as an entrepreneur, you don't want to give all your money to the government, right? So you have to be a little bit careful with tax planning. So it really limits your choices of which country you can.
But you knew it before.
But I knew it before. Yeah.
So you just accepted it.
These are accept. No, it's not accepted. I found place where I can pay less tax. No, and don't I mean, I came here with a fucking backpack, grew a business. Is not to go and give all my money now that it's going to be okay. I did the hard job. I want to be able to lift the cup a little bit.
You want to benefit from your work.
I want to enjoy it a little bit for.
You worked for it.
Yeah, I worked for it, and I worked for it when it was tough. So I don't want to. Now that it's a bit okay, just go and give everything to the government and live like a beggar again. No thanks. So I looked at it. So I think tax is one of the issue. The atmosphere, and then also if you want to live in a big city, there's also the security, which was a bit of a problem for me.
So
the
you
safety
think
for
Europe
the
is
kids.
not safe?
It's not safe. I mean, if you live in the countryside and you are really and you are careful, I think you can have a decent life, But it's not as stress-free as Hong Kong, where you can really, you can drop your kid anywhere in Hong Kong, and it will be returned to you. I'm not going to try it, but 99.99% chance that the kid will find his way back home. I'm not really
you don't
concerned.
need to worry in Hong Kong.
I'm not worried.
I'm
never worried. But in Europe, I would be, especially when the big one is growing up, becoming teen, going for a party or something like that. I don't see myself, living there knowing she's.
Yeah, when you talk about Europe, you're talking about
partying.
Brussels, Paris, London.
Well, for me, is the place I would consider. The place I would consider for myself is mostly Italy, Greece. Because that's where I would be happy, and that's why I was looking also in terms of tax. There was a way to do something. I was looking at Bulgaria as well, which was quite okay as well. But then, when I refer to this kind of price, mostly Belgium. That's one of the reasons I wouldn't go back in Belgium for living full time there with the kids.
Like what kind of issues you can have in Europe?
Well, it's just. I think one of the big problem I would say in Europe is the small delinquents. For example, in Hong Kong we know there is crime, but there is massive crime. There is big money laundering schemes. There is drugs in Hong Kong. There is prostitution. There is human trafficking. There is all these things, same as the rest of the world. I'm not saying Hong Kong is a paradise. There is nothing. Okay, there's all these. But you and me, we don't see it. We can live here and we won't have any problem with that. We are not affected. It happens everywhere in every country around the world, but here you won't be affected. The issue of Europe, I think, is the small delinquents. It's those 3 guys that you don't even know that will come and start to annoy you just because they don't like your face, you didn't look in a way that was appropriate to their standards, or they want to get your phone, they want to get your wallet, and it's this kind of, I think I have to look after your phone.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't. Keep going.
This is the kind of insecurities that you will find in Europe. You will not feel safe because of that. Or I remember when I went to Athens, I had a blast. It was a dream of mine too. I mean, my company is called Athinasia. Since I'm a little boy, I'm fascinated because of Athena, because of Greek mythology. So since I'm a little boy, I'm a fan of Greek history, Roman history, etc. So when I went in Athens for the first time, when I was 30, I think I was 38 at that time. That was like a dream. I went on the Acropolis. I was crying under my shades. I was like, oh gosh, it felt so emotional to me. I loved being there for 4 days. But here's the thing. I walk back home, and then after 9, you have these people that comes out of nowhere. They are true refugees, people that have seen real shit. Not like those economic refugees, something like people from Syria, from Afghanistan, from Iraq. They have pretty hardcore stories, and those guys lives in the street, and after 9 they start to pop up, and you have groups of 5, 6, 7 male guys walking in the street, going from trash bin to trash bin, and then the whole city is filled with that, and I was not feeling safe. I mean, you know martial art. you know that if there's three guys that come at you, you can be Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, whatever, you're screwed, you know. Especially if one of them take a knife or something, so you really feel powerless. And I was working with my wife, going back to the hotel. I was like, okay, let's be street smart here, you know, like let's behave in a certain way. And I was like, and I was scared, really, you know, because I know at any time those guys can come at me and I can do strictly nothing, you know.
So you mean safety is a very important issue for you, and when you compare to Hong Kong, you think like life is better in Hong Kong?
In Hong Kong, nothing ever happened to me in Hong Kong in 16 years.
Even when you're very drunk and your friend is very drunk?
Dude, I have stories where one day I was invited in the Longines Master. Yeah. I don't know if you know this one. It happens once a year. It's a pretty nice. It's a nice event in the Asia World Expo, and I was way younger and didn't hold my wine as well as I do now. And they kept refilling my glass, and I didn't take care, and I drink, to a point that I just collapsed in the place when I was leaving, and I slept in the Asia World Expo, and I woke up. Nothing happened to me. I had my wallet. I had everything.
You woke up when? The day after?
The day after.
What? Yeah. No, there's no security guard say, "Hey, wake up."
No. Nobody cared. No, nobody cared. I was just there. No.
Well, but it's good and it's not good, because if you had some issues, people don't care also.
No,
if you are dying,
no, they don't care. But I don't think people will care in Europe either, to be honest.
Yeah, okay, true, fair enough.
But yeah, no, this can happen here, that you'll be pretty safe. You know, I'm not sure if this happens to you in Lockhart Road. I don't know. You might be in more trouble, but you won't be a big trouble. Worst case, you will lose a phone or a wallet, you know, but you will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and so we are happy here in Hong Kong. You told me it's also it's a very international place. You told me earlier. How do you see yourself? Because everybody can hear you have a kind of French accent, or you have a French accent. People think you're French.
I do have a French. Everybody thinks I'm French. That's the thing. I'm a bit frustrated. When I arrived in Hong Kong, people keep asking me, like, "Where are you from?" I can't sense it. Are you from South America? Are you from Spain or something? You know, or sometimes are you from Quebec? You know, in Canada, so they spot the French accent. And say, you do have a sort of a French accent, but it's not really the same as the French. You know, but nowadays, like, I say 3 words, like, "Oh, you're French." I'm like, seriously? So I guess I speak too much in French with my daughter and son, and
but it is good.
Also in the office. So yeah, no, this is a good thing. So, but the bad thing is like, yeah, my accent is more pronounced now, I guess. I don't know.
And how do you see the international environment in Hong Kong? There's a difference because you are Belgium and I'm French. I feel like there's a lot of different cultures in Hong Kong. We have a lot of friends that are interested in like rugby, cricket, and so like you said before. Do you see how do you define your life in Hong Kong? Who are your friends? More Hong Kongese, more like a European?
Oh, my friends are from everywhere, to be honest. I mean, we organize a lot of parties on this boat. Like every week, I tell you, we do a dinner. I love cooking, so we'll have a barbecue night, pizza, whatever, like slow cook, like today, you know.
Yeah, same. We're gonna do CFI event soon.
Huh?
We're gonna do a CFI Club France here. Event.
Yeah, well, if you want, no, why not? And then
France-Belgian event.
Francophone or whatever, like whoever wants to come, they're welcome. You know, it doesn't have to be French. My neighbors here, like I have a French guy that comes, Americans. I have one of our American clients that comes all the time. Last week was full with Brazilians here, friends passing through the city. I have people from everywhere. So mostly, I would say, I realized doing my podcast, for example, a lot of them are French. So I realized my network is really Frenchy. But actually, when I see the people that comes here, I have really from everywhere. But Hong Kong, I think, is multicultural. You have, in a sense, it's not intercultural. There's not that many relationship with a lot of different culture. Like people still lives in their own bubble. Like French tend to stay among French. You know, the Brits tend to stay among Brits, or maybe Anglo-Saxon, including the Australians and the Canadians. And Canadians are super open. Go to the Canadian Chamber, you have the whole world there. Actually, they're pretty chill. The locals are quite local. Now, from time to time, yeah, you have some groups that are a bit mixed. You will have some mixed group in general, but people tend to go back to their community. That's one thing I noticed over the years, staying here for 16 years. I'm married to a local, so for me, I'm maybe even more multicultural than normal,
what about
intercultural. But I noticed that a lot of communities stays in their own communities.
What about the Belgian community? Because there's a Belgian chamber.
It's not too strong, I have to say. We have a Belgian club. I just joined recently, and it's always the same people. I would say like 20 to 30 same people. But we are around 1,000 here, so I don't know all the Belgians here. But Belgians are. They don't really stick to one community. I think they are really open and to get like friends from everywhere. Maybe it's because we are not that big neither.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
And even
compared to the French.
Yeah, and even among us, we are quite divided because we have the French speakers, we have the Flemish speaker, we have the German speakers. Although this is really a minority, I never met any in Hong Kong. And in Hong Kong also, our differences are kind of erased because in Hong Kong we tend to speak English. So when we meet, when you're it's really funny this one. When you're in Belgium, you have a clear difference between Flemish and Walloons. No, I'm Walloon, I'm a French speaker, and then you have the Flemish, and then we tend to stay in our own community. But when you're in Hong Kong, then you start to see the commonalities we have between the French-speaking side of Belgium and the Flemish, because we speak in English, and then we start to have the same kind of joke and sense of humor, and then it, when both sides are open-minded, we realize that okay, that's the same country, So
it's the same culture,
the
same
culture.
identity, the same vibes.
Yeah, the same vibe. Even if you don't speak the same language, when we switch to English, you can see it's the same vibe. Yeah.
Okay. But do you identify yourself as a strong, Belgian patriot? I've seen recently. I've seen news about the Belgian guy who became a Hong Kong citizen. What do you think about this?
Well, I think at this point, to me, it makes no sense to give up my Belgian citizenship, because if you want to become Hong Kong citizen, it's possible, but you need to give up your citizenship. And for me, I think having a European passport is still really valuable. Hong Kong, you don't really know where this passport is going over the next few years.
Yes.
I mean, we have to wait until 47 to see what's going to happen exactly. So, I mean, switching to Hong Kong, unless they start something like in France, with the taxation on citizens, I'm like, then at that moment I might consider. Plus, I still have a life raft in my case. If I want to become European again, I can be Italian through my grandma.
You can give up and you can get it again.
Exactly. So I could give up my Belgian, take the Hong Kong, and then take the Italian citizenship. So I could still be in the EU if I really want. But at this point, I don't really see the point. Belgium is a really good passport. So yeah, for me, I don't know why the guy did that, to be honest.
How do you define life? Why is it so valuable to live in Hong Kong? But you already told us you change your mind, you want to go back to Europe, but now you're good in Hong Kong. Why not go to Singapore, Bangkok, or whatever?
I'm still considering to leave for the same reason as before. I still have this idea that maybe one day leaving, but maybe not for Europe, maybe for Thailand this time,
because of what you said about Yan'an walking around in some space?
Something like that, and also just to be chill. I'm reaching 40. I'm not this young guy that was going
the young
everywhere.
and hungry guy wants to conquer Hong Kong.
Exactly. I'm a bit pathetic sometimes. I was thinking, when I look at me when I was young, I was like, what a pathetic dude. Look, I was. but then when I'm really reflecting, I'm like, dude, this guy, he took his backpack, came here, lived like a beggar, and was full of hope and dreams, and was just like super hungry to make it happen. And I'm not that guy anymore. No, I'm more chill. And then in this stage of my life, I would like something a bit more chill, because Hong Kong is intense. Hong Kong, you like it or not, is an intense
How
city.
intense? Because it's non-stop.
It's
the
non-stop.
Events, the people you meet, the requirements, the clients.
Exactly all the things you describe. The events, the people, and then we talked about it in French. The fact that you are always pushed which is a good thing, to be a better you, like both in terms of career, academically speaking, even physically, when you go back to Europe, you see everybody of our age, like almost most of the people are quite overweight, Here, you can see everybody reaching 35 is like, oh man, I have to do something about
everybody
it.
has high standards about everything.
And then and then you see your friends starting the gym, you start too, and then everybody's kind of pushing
trying to
themselves
be at your best in
all
all aspects of life.
Yeah, but at a point, it
now
may become tiring,
Yeah, it becomes too much.
It might be too much.
Years.
Yeah, it's positive, but maybe just relaxing, being in a more relaxed place, like.
But
like
maybe
Thailand.
that's what you think now, and when you go to Thailand, you
And
get
maybe
bored.
I'll get bored.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I know.
Because
That's
now
why
it's your identity. Now you live with this space.
that's the problem. Is that now
never
this
know.
excitement is addictive as well.
Yeah.
The fact that you meet so many people all the time, and you have so many opportunities, and then one day you meet a guy that talk about something, and say, hey, somebody that could do that. It's like, oh yeah, sure. You create the connection, then you're on a new project together, and then it's non-stop, right? The fact that you can, get so much activities in the same day, just 5 or 10 minutes apart from each other. It's amazing, But I don't know. To be honest, I'm a bit lost now. Maybe it's reaching the 40 that I don't know what I want in life.
He's
Maybe,
like accountant. Right?
yeah, I have to go through the how they say that in English, the 40
crisis, the 40 years old
crisis.
guys.
I don't know. Yeah, midlife crisis. Yeah. So I don't know.
Let's say to conclude our interview, because it's quite a long time already. You have some guys watching us. They are 20, 25 years old. They're watching you. They want to come to Hong Kong. What do you tell them? Any advice? Anything to say?
I think if you are young, you are well educated, because this I think is important in Hong Kong, and you have ambition. I mean, this is the place to be at. There's no other place, I think, on earth at this moment where you should be. I think the next part of this century will be definitely Asian, and Hong Kong is the focus point of all these
Of Asia.
Of Asia. Yeah, you can be anywhere within 4 hours from Hong Kong. It's a good place to set business. Is a good place even if you want to work, to find a job that will pay you for your worth if you're ready to put on the work. So no, you don't have just be clear, you don't have a passport that you don't show your passport in Hong Kong and say, look, I'm from France, or I'm from Italy or UK, please give me a job with 100,000 Hong Kong dollars a month. No, this is not going to happen. But here, if you work hard,
you make it happen yourself.
You can make it happen by yourself. That's the beauty here, is that if you work hard, if you work smart, if you play the game, then you can make it happen. Which I think in Europe, it's really difficult to make it happen. I have a lot of admiration for entrepreneurs in Europe that manage to make it happen. These guys, to me, are true warriors. Yeah. We play.
Because they go through so many troubles.
Yeah, they go through so many trouble. They play the game in hard mode, really. I won't say here we play easy. I would say on the business side, yeah, maybe it's easier. On the life side, it's quite hard though, because it's expensive to live in Hong Kong. But yeah, on the business side, I think we play it easy in Hong Kong compared to Europe. I mean, the guy that can make it happen in Europe with his business, I mean, to me is a respect, true hero.
Well, if someone makes it. Is doing well in Europe, he can move to Hong Kong and do even better. It means
definitely.
He's a successful businessman.
Yeah. Especially, if he move his business here, suddenly he will make 3 times the amount of money he's making in Europe, even doing the same turnover. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Very interesting, and see you again soon. Merci.
Thank you for the interview, and hope you guys enjoyed.